Good morning, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Wednesday, May 1st. Happy May, new month. Out with April, in with May, fourth month of the year already. Wait, fifth month. Jesus, flying along this year. Anyway, this is your morning setups video. Sending this out for free today for everybody to take a look at. So we're coming into a gap up. Markets over 295 at one point on the SPY this morning, new all-time highs here thanks to strong earnings by Apple. On the economic front, we have a busy day, guys. So, you take everything aside, mortgage applications, jobs number, PMI, ISM, construction, petroleum at 10:30, right? That's the big crude number. We had a big surprise build last night, but everything really is all about 2. 2 o'clock, we get the FOMC announcement, and then we get the press conference at 2:30. So typically on Fed days, we get a lot of action the first hour, hour and a half, and then we pretty much go dead until the Fed, and then we have very mixed action afterwards as everybody tries to interpret what was said. As Powell talks, and we continue to move forward here. So let's just jump into it here and go through some of my thoughts here today. Today is a day to take it a little easy, right? On the ES, we've been talking about this trend. Let's just open it up to 1 year, right? This beautiful, beautiful trend that started the day after Christmas, right? Here it is, your Christmas Eve, day after Christmas, 26th, pop, move up more, and we've been basically trending ever since, a little 3% pullback here, right, in March, and just riding the 8-day now. So we've been riding the 8-day all the way back since the end of March, right, for a month now, riding the 8-day higher. Nice stair stepping, controlled move up, new all-time high today, right? Nice move here. We look at this. This is beautiful, right? We can see how that works. Oil's getting beaten up on the surprise build, and also tensions in Venezuela easing. Oops. Right. So you can see here, holding a lot of this trend, just not doing much here. Bonds are on the move. Oops. So bonds were on the move this morning ahead of the Fed. Let's just take this down a little bit, make it easier to see to 3 months. Perfect. So bonds popping here ahead of the Fed. Again, anticipating more dovishness from the Fed. Maybe that's why the bonds are popping. They'll probably run into it, and then we'll see what they react afterwards. This was the post-Fed move last time, right? This big arrow on this trending high, we gave pretty much all of it back at this point. Gold doing nothing. And so they're not running back into gold. Gold's been lagging swing now for most of the year. And crypto, just to keep an eye on it, still hanging here around the 200-day, going sideways, flagging, nothing yet. Sentiment. So from a sentiment perspective today, we come into a good spot. So, these are things I look at every day with my subs. So one thing is the breadth. Breadth continues to trend strongly as it continues to bounce and move higher. We like that. When we look at the oscillators, there's nothing going on here to be concerned about. The NAMOT, which tracks the NASDAQ, we're at neutral, -1. Perfect. Room to go up or down, but lots of room to the upside. The NIMOT, which tracks the New York Stock Exchange, -8. What this means is that, if we pull back, we're going to get oversold real fast on any type of pullback, kind of like we did back here in March. See how quickly we did that? Same type of action. So we're set up in a bullish market. And what finally happened yesterday, which I've been waiting for, is we finally got a sentiment flush. This market has been stubbornly pulled up for the last week or so, 2 weeks, right? And you can see here, doesn't want to flush out the sentiment. Yesterday, finally, on that little bit of action yesterday morning, they flushed sentiment, which is what was needed. And they finally got us down here. So the way this works, this is the neutral zone. This means we're getting too bullish, which is a contrarian indicator. This means we're getting too bearish, which is a contrarian indicator. So finally, a little bit of a sentiment flush. This is exactly what we were looking for, and finally got it. So we're opening up at 295. And this is, I tell you guys, you have to think carefully here today. You don't just want to be blindly chasing everything all over the place here. We're opening up new all-time highs. The RSI on the SPY is going to be hot. Okay, it was already hot coming in here at this point. Let's see if I pulled up real quick. Where are we at? It was already over 70. It's already running roughly at 73. So at this point, it's going to be even higher here this morning. So you need to be a little careful here, okay? Doesn't mean it can't continue, just telling us that we're up a little bit and that we could be in for a little bit of a a bumpy road here at this point, or a little bit of sideways action, or some type of corrective activity, right? Or we can get the opposite. We can get full on bull mode where this market takes off and we just start to run and ramp back up. So here we are, all-time highs. We did it. I thought we did it by June. We hit it by April. Awesome for us. So for today, if you're playing the markets, 297 would be my high if it wants to rip. That's where I, could go to. We're currently trading right around 295. To the downside, the 8-day has been support. They will breach it. They will play with it. But over and all the 8-day, which is currently at 292.46, it'll open higher at this point, is currently support, and that's what you use as line one in the sand. As long as we continue to close over the 8-day, this market remains in a very fast, good momentum market. If it gets weak, you got support on the 21-day at 289.56. Notice how this is playing into this area of all these candles, right? So you have 21-day moving average support and pivot support. And then my line in the sand is all the way down here now at 284.80, 284.40. That's that gap that we never filled, okay? We never filled this little gap. You can see how the Bollinger Band moved up with it. 50-day, all the moving averages curling up. Everything looks fabulous here. So let's talk about today and what are we looking at. So first of all, let's talk about Apple. Apple, great report, raised guidance. And a $75 billion buyback. Things like that. I'm just, I called my friend up last night after when we heard when she said that to me, and I said, wouldn't you rather see them take some of that money and buy like somebody that can make more money with, like a Square or something? But this is where they're at. They like to do their buyback, so they're going to finance another huge buyback. Their cash hoard was down over 8% from last time as they doing this. So we'll see how this plays out. Apple here is trading all the way up now to 212. Okay, roughly 212 here pre-market. What's interesting to me is they may be coming, but I haven't seen a ton of upgrades yet. I'm sure they're on their way. So all-time highs is 233.47. We're currently trading right up into this area, right? Notice this gap. You have a little gap right here. So, right, if you're playing this today, you come in and say, okay, the high is 213.65. Notice we stopped there. So you come in and you say, Apple gap. I don't know about you, but I can't watch everything every minute of the day, and these alerts on Thinkorswim are fabulous. So now we know. We know we have a gap there. If it gets into that gap, it's got a couple, $4 it can go, and it can go quickly if it wants it today. So we'll keep an eye on that, right? It's not far off. So Apple, we'll keep an eye on for another long extension today. AMD also had good earnings. They weren't fabulous. They were good. Okay, we're trading up around 28, 29 here. The recent high is this 30 area, and then you have your 52-week high, which is 34. So it's got to take out 30 to get going. So 30 is a big spot. So if we can't get above 30, I would watch to see it sit here for a bit. If it gets above 30, look for a move up to 32.50. Okay, maybe not today, but both of these look pretty good here. So, those are some names to keep an eye on today. You can play NVIDIA also off of AMD. If AMD is strong, NVIDIA has this little gap it's in that I can go finish filling. What else? Shop, a bunch of upgrades after a huge move on earnings yesterday. I don't know if you can do much or chase with that, but it looks great here as well. UPS had terrific flow into the May 24th 106 calls yesterday. They came in right on this candle, and it gave a nice quick move, right? Couple buck move up into it. They stuck to open interest. We'll see if it can get going here. It reverted back into the Bollinger Band, but this is the type of flow yesterday that comes in big and heavy out of nowhere, swept aggressively, and it says you should try it. So keep an eye on UPS today to see if it wants to go some more here. What else? China names are stuck right now. They're meeting in China right now. JD is the one that has the most flow consistently. Upgrade yesterday, couldn't hold in, has earnings coming. They were hitting the May 31s yesterday. Facebook, they loaded up on the July 200s yesterday. What I don't like about Facebook yesterday, we had a reversal candle. We pushed above and came back. So I'll be a little bit careful with that one. Same thing with Twitter today. I'm out of all my short-term Twitter. I still own common stock from back in 2017 that I'm not worried about. What I didn't like yesterday, again, on Twitter, is it tried to break out and it yanked back in. Now it's back above 40. We need to hold 40. 40 is important. It's got to stay above 40 to do something. It doesn't like being out of the Bollinger Band. When it gets out, it tends to revert back in. Now it shot out yesterday, came back in. So it might just start grinding its way higher here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I do like Twitter long-term. We'll keep an eye on it. I also want to keep an eye on Roku again today. Roku here, earnings next week. It's trying to break out of this little area. Came back in yesterday, but another nice candle holding well. Notice now it's right in the 50-day. This is a close above the 50-day. A couple closes here above the 50-day. Dips to the 8-day are buyable right now. If you notice that, these dips down to the 8-day, it's been holding it. So if you get a dip to it, feel free to give it a try if the market looks okay. Right? And I think a move up to 65 would be your first area on this one. And if it really wanted to get going, 66, it's called 67, then you have a gap up to 68, which it may try to go fill ahead of earnings if it really wants to wake up. So those are some thoughts here coming into today, guys. I stress for you guys today to be cautious, keep an eye on things, to be careful. Watch CVX. If APC comes out and says they're going to do the deal with Oxy, I think this one will take off. You can place some calls up towards 125 for a refill of that gap. So I hope you all enjoyed what I offered you guys today. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about me, you can check me out at smartoptiontrading.com. And $25 for the first 30 days, cancel anytime. It's $100 thereafter that. Just click on real-time option flow and just click the subscribe. You get all my morning videos like this. I'm live for 3 hours a day through a chat room, recap video every night going over the action, what looks good if you're a swing trader. And we do a teaching webinar every Thursdays at 6 p.m. Everybody have a great day trading, and remember, Fed at 2, so be extra cautious today.